Namaste dosto and welcome back. Today we are unpacking something that literally applies to every single one of us. We are looking at the ultimate rule book of human growth, which is developmental psychology. हम सब कैसे बड़े होते हैं, कैसे सोचते हैं और वक्त के साथ कैसे बदलते हैं? Well, let's take this fascinating university level syllabus and break it down into an easy to understand journey. Let's explore the science of you.
Okay, let's dive right into this. I want to start by asking you a really fundamental question. Think about it for a second. When does human development actually begin? Like, if you were to draw a timeline of your life, where exactly do you place the starting line? Most people immediately point to their birthday. But is that really day one?
The answer, according to the science of developmental psychology, might actually surprise you. Development starts at conception, not at birth. आपकी लाइफ की कहानी birth से नहीं, conception से शुरू होती है. You see, birth isn't the beginning of your development. It's actually the result of a super intense period of early development. Psychologists study the prenatal period because those foundational stages basically set the stage for everything that follows. We are growing and developing long before we ever see the light of day.
To grasp how this all works, here's our roadmap for the day. First, what is developmental psychology? Second, defining the core concepts. Third, the direction of growth. Fourth, pacing and individual differences. Fifth, the complete lifespan scope. And finally, a summary and some final takeaways.
All right, let's start right at the foundation with Section 1. What is developmental psychology and the scientific study behind it?
Grounding ourselves in the university syllabus we're looking at today, it's clear that developmental psychology isn't just one narrow topic. Yay, interdisciplinary field, hey. It pulls research from biology, neuroscience, sociology, and education just to understand how individuals change over time. It's literally the scientific study of how we change physically, cognitively, emotionally, and socially. Essentially, it tries to answer exactly why we act the way we do at different stages of our lives.
Which brings us nicely to Section 2, defining the core concepts. What actually is development?
Well, renowned psychologist Elizabeth Hurlock puts it like this. She says, development is qualitative change. Development is orderly, harmonious, and progressive change leading to the goal of maturity. Now, those are some pretty heavy academic words, so let's unpack what she really means here, because understanding this is the key to the whole field.
The absolute big takeaway here is the term qualitative change. Development is not just about getting physically bigger or taller. Surf-size badna development nahi hai. It's about an orderly, harmonious progression towards maturity. It means your capabilities are actively upgrading. Your mind is processing things differently. Your emotions are becoming far more complex. It's this holistic upgrade of the entire organism moving step by step toward maturity.
So, if we're constantly upgrading like this, how does our physical body actually know how to grow? Let's jump into Section 3, the direction of growth and the physical growth rules.
Nature is just incredibly organized. Growth happens in two major directions. Step 1 is top-down. Basically, we develop from the head down to the legs. Think about a newborn baby. सबसे पहले उनके neck muscles develop होते हैं so they can hold their head up. Then they develop torso strength to sit, and only much later do they develop the leg strength to walk. Step 2 is center to periphery. Growth moves from the middle of the body outward. A child develops their trunk first, then their arms, and finally that delicate, precise control of their fingers.
And this brilliantly illustrates another major rule of growth. We move from general to specific movements. When a baby is in a cradle and sees a toy, they get super excited and move their entire body. Or if they hear a sound, they try to turn their whole torso. They use these general, full-body responses. But as they mature, they learn specific control. Eventually, they can just casually reach out with their hand and use their fingers to hold that specific toy. They go from awkward, full-body reactions to highly precise, specific actions.
Now, this structured sequence begs an obvious question, leading us perfectly into Section 4, pacing and individual differences. Do we all grow at the same rate?
Consider the difference between 11 and 15 months. The sequence of development is exactly the same for everyone, but the pace, completely different. Some babies learn to walk at 11 months, while others might not take those first steps until 14 or 15 months. Har bacha unique hai. Every child has different heredity and a different environment, meaning their inner strength and development speeds vary wildly. The order remains the same. Sitting always comes before walking, but the timing is wonderfully unique to the individual.
Development is also this continuous, gradual web. Small changes lead to big ones. But here is something absolutely crucial. While physical growth eventually hits a peak, mental development is a lifelong, continuous process. Furthermore, everything is interrelated. Your cognitive, social, and emotional developments heavily rely on each other. Because of this, if a child experiences what's called arrested development, meaning their growth gets stalled at a certain stage, it will actively impact and hinder their development in the next stages of life.
Let's zoom out and move to Section 5 to see how this builds into the broader picture, the complete lifespan scope from conception to old age.
You know, it's a huge misconception that developmental psychology is just about studying babies and children. Not at all. This field spans from conception all the way to old age and near death. It goes far beyond the physical to include mental, social, and even moral growth. And it's incredibly practical. Researchers use this science to solve real-world, everyday problems for parents, teachers, and counselors. Plus, it actively acknowledges that our rapidly changing social, economic, and cultural environments heavily influence how we develop as humans.
We've covered some incredible ground today. Let's bring it all together in Section 6, Summary and Final Takeaways.
So, the crucial point is really captured in these 5 takeaways straight from the syllabus. 1. Development is holistic, it touches every single aspect of you. 2. It's continuous from the moment you are conceived until death. 3. The entire goal is to mature a person. 4, and honestly, this is a massive one, development can actually be accelerated and managed through proper education and training. And 5, it's a massive combination of physical, mental, social, emotional, and linguistic maturation. It's the complete package of who you are.
I want to leave you with a really thought-provoking question to chew on today. Since we now know that mental, emotional, and social development continues your entire life, is your current environment hindering or helping your growth? आज का modern environment बहुत तेजी से बदल रहा है. Are the spaces you put yourself in accelerating your development, or are they causing an arrest in your growth? Think about it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep learning, keep developing, and I'll see you in the next one.